First of all, welcome to Den of Kings, and the conversation we really hope is going to impact you. So just stick around as we chop it up on Den of Kings. One of the biggest mistakes I made, I missed the opportunity to really be a boss. So from my 20s to my 40s, I owned none of my publishing.
Kirk, are you kidding me?
And I started in a broken down Shell gas station, one fryer, one grill. I had to learn profit and loss, EBITDA, everything. And right now, I can sit at the table with anybody and talk about the level of business.
That's fine.
It's just not for me. It's gonna open the door for a lot of kids in the ghettos and lower income communities that think that they gotta do certain things to make it out.
I never wanted to be a boss because a boss just tells people what to do. But a leader shows people what to do. And then your vision and their vision,
I love it.
It works together because you're helping them achieve their goal.
So all my life, I wanted to be the man who owned the house. So that's when I entered this business, when I started doing these plays, when I started doing movies. Giving up ownership was not an option. These folks at Hollywood, oh, it's just some play or just something black people doing. They thought Diary of a Mad Black Woman would do $5 million total. It opened at 20.
Wow.
Good, King.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Yo, you smell that, boy? What you doing? But you can't go straight to the food. What are you doing?
I started looking at the food, man.
But why would you come into somebody's house and not speak to them and just go straight to their food?
It smells so good.
But I'm sensitive. This is Chef John, man.
How you doing, King?
How you doing, King?
But man, while we are doing this, man, you can kind of just nibble a little bit, whatever you want to.
Man.
You know, that's your boy.
Oh,
That's your boy.
Man, there he is.
That's your boy.
Oh, man.
That's your boy.
This is a good birthday right here, man.
What's
Got
good,
my boy in
King?
here.
He's sharp too. He's sharp. He's sharp. Salute, King. Thank you for coming through. Now, did you see how he did it? He came and spoke first.
Hey, but you know why?
This boy went straight to the food.
He's not in the food industry. He's not in the food industry.
Anyway, get on over there. Get on over there, man.
What's up, my guy?
Come on, man, good to see you.
Hey,
No, man,
what you got going,
man?
Chef Sean, come on, man. That's Jay.
Is that a gold steak?
Yes, sir.
That's one of those,
That's
bro.
the 24 karat.
Can you do a rose gold one for me?
Rose gold.
Hold on. First of all, how do you know about that? Like, do you know anything about cooking?
I know enough.
Do you?
Yeah.
He picked some good restaurants.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm a fool.
don't have me coming over here with food smelling. What's going on, man?
What's up, sir?
What you doing?
And you clean.
Yeah,
And you clean. Yeah, but you know, I get mad from the children's section.
I know you're God's littlest Christian. God's littlest Christian right here.
Fellas, come on, man. Come on.
Any restaurant.
Come on, man.
All right?
Pleasure.
Yo,
Pleasure.
TP, that's Chef Sean.
Chef Sean, how you doing, man? We ain't shaking no hands. You got the food there.
Yeah.
Chef Sean, tell everybody what you cook for everybody. Let them know what you cook.
Why is that gold
Put
on
some
here?
24 karat gold leaf on it.
Yeah,
Why do you
they say
do
you
that?
was coming, so you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody should have told me that, man. You can eat this?
It's edible. It is edible.
Why did you do that, Chef?
How is gold edible?
In thin quantities.
In thin quantities.
Oh, so that's real gold.
Yeah, it's real gold.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let y'all go first. Looks good though.
Let's go
Smells
to my
good.
diet.
Smells really good.
But Chef Sean, let them know what else you got popping for them.
All right, over here, I got some broccolini, some asparagus. I got some blackened sea bass around the corner, and I got some mashed potatoes coming out.
That sound like
Mashed potatoes coming out.
And I got sauteed potatoes and duck fat and garlic.
Duck fat.
Yes.
Duck
Duck
fat.
fat.
Yes.
Black people eating duck fat, right?
That's
Okay.
about to probably be new for me. Duck fat.
So check this out. You make your plate, you dig whatever you want to do. You want to chill, get something to drink, whatever you want to do. But before we do that, TP, would you mind saying grace for us?
Yes, but something's wrong though. If you got gold on the meat and you got to make your own plate, but okay, I'll just. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this fellowship. We thank you for this moment. We thank you for the brotherhood. We thank you for Kirk bringing us together. We thank you for all that you have done. We will never, ever take for granted the goodness that you have given us and shown us in this life as men, in our character and our strength. We thank you. Bless the chef, bless this food. I don't know about this gold, God. Look into it in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Here we go.
So just go for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Everything looks great.
So listen, man. Fellas, while y'all fix your plate, I know that one of the biggest mistakes I made at 23 years old, I messed up, didn't own my publishing, did all this music, and didn't have the money that I could have had. I missed the opportunity to really be a boss, right?
At 23, what album was that?
The first record.
The
Why we
first
sing?
record.
The first record.
Why We Sing.
Why we sing?
You didn't, or you still don't own it?
I just started to own my publishing. Guess what song was my first song owning?
What's that?
Take Me to the King. Wow. In my 40s.
Kirk,
So-
are you kidding me?
So from my 20s to my 40s, I owned none of my publishing. Now, of course, you know, is I got my songwriter's part,
Right.
but I didn't get what is the most important part, that IP part, right? That copyright. And then here's also the other thing is, because I did not always have the money that I should have had.
I was gonna say that.
I didn't have the money I should have had. A lot of times you gotta act as if.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta keep the kids laced,
Right.
gotta keep wifey laced, you gotta act as if, because everybody's expecting you to have something because you got these plaques, these awards. So my opportunity to really own something, I didn't have enough confidence to fight for what I felt like I deserved, right?
But you got to give yourself grace for that, because you were, number one, you were 23 years old, and what you didn't know, you didn't know.
That part.
So you got to give yourself grace for that, for sure.
Thank you.
I like to add on to that. I mean, it really makes a difference how you come into the game, right? You know, I had humble beginnings, but of course, I was able to come into a situation where I was already my own boss because I was paying for my own stuff already, which was a risk on my end because there was a chance it couldn't have worked out, and I'd have been in your situation, vice versa. I just was one of the lucky ones, and you know, I thank God every day that I was even in that position to bet on myself.
But my question to you three is that I want to learn from y'all is, how did you have the confidence to know your worth from the very beginning, to know what to even ask for or to even know what you deserve? Like,
I got one better, not to cut you off. I didn't even know I was gonna be an artist. I started investing in other people first.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Other artists. But to answer your question on my side, I would say knowing your worth is knowing who you are. When you know exactly who you are, you make those type of decisions. If you think that you from a position of scarcity, you're gonna make scarce decisions, which are rational and desperate. But if you know that your worth, who you are, not where you're going, but who you are.
Who taught you
sense.
that though?
I think that's
That's a great question.
childhood.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
childhood.
it's-
It depends on how you grow up, where you come from. Like for me, I dumped all my money in the Big Dave's to grow my business. So I didn't go out and have investors in the beginning. So I actually had to bet on myself.
Sure.
And I think betting on yourself is the way you ain't gonna quit, because you know this is all you got. Ain't nobody else there to save you but you and God. And I think that's the boss part of it.
So betting on yourself.
Yeah, but I understand what you guys are saying, but it's hard to know that at 23. It's hard to know that at 23. And if you have that self-awareness and the self-sure at 23, that's beyond a blessing to know that.
I love that, but I
Yeah.
have to push back, big dog.
Tell me.
I knew that at 16.
At 16, what did you know at 16?
That I had to bet on myself.
That you had to bet on yourself. Yes, but tell me if I'm wrong. What I think you're saying is, how did you know the information?
Yes.
At 23, and how did you have the confidence
Yes.
to know what to ask for? Is what I think you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess it's based on situations.
Come on, let's sit down.
My situation was, let's do this. My situation was dire. Like a lot of people were talented, and their path was based on their talent. But my path was based on providing. So I had to find a way. I had to believe in myself because there was no other entrepreneurs. There was an entrepreneur in my neighborhood. His name was Russell. He owned a mechanic shop. Probably did like 3 cars a year. Old guy. He was the first entrepreneur I knew because he owned some of the houses in the neighborhood. But mind you, the population was 2,500. So that's what I had to choose from, right? But the only thing that made a difference was I grew up abroad because my father was in the military. So I grew up in Hawaii, Japan. So I knew there was bigger things out there. I just had to get to it. So to answer your question is how I had to believe in myself. When my parents divorced, I was staying in a single wide trailer that's probably 2 times bigger than this table. Me, my mom, and my sister. And that was gonna be my destiny forever unless I believed in myself and done something. And that's what I
But I
had
think
to do.
that's what your blessing was, though.
Oh, for sure.
Because you moving around.
Absolutely.
So like me coming from West Philly, I'm in these 4 walls of the city. So your beliefs got to be a little bit different to say like, okay, like what's next?
Right.
Like if you don't see nothing outside of this neighborhood, for me, I just wanted to be better than what I've seen.
Right.
And I think that's what makes you great, when you know that God put you there for a reason, and it's stuff that you could be that you can't see yet.
Right.
What I was very impressed though is that when you push back, you know, in the conversation with TP, and knowing that there are these two perspectives that can exist at the same time.
For sure, absolutely.
I want to know, do you think that for even people like me and you, because a lot of our beginning was the same, not having pops, not having, and listening to them, like, did you have your pops?
Yeah, my dad died in front of my face though. So I carry my business because of my dad. So like that was me not quitting.
It's motivation.
Like it been many times out of 10 years I've been growing Big Dave's that I wanted to quit. But I think about my dad's last breath and I'm like, you know what? My goal was to make my dad's name more famous than he was when he was dead and when he was alive. So, you know, that was the thing in the beginning, but as you go, you start having kids, you start having things, and now the principles and the morals change why you want to do these things. But my drive was my father. That was solely the number one thing why I wanted to make it.
What started for me is I didn't have the wherewithal, I didn't have anybody to teach me how to do business, how to own the house, how to do stuff. But my father did in reverse. My father was there, but he was a horrible person. But the thing that solidified it for me was he was working, building houses for these white men. And he'd be so happy. He'd get his $800, he'd come home, I made my $800, but then I watched the white man sell the house for $80,000. Wow. So all my life, I wanted to be the man who owned the house. So that's when I entered this business, when I started doing these plays, when I started doing movies. Giving up ownership was not an option. I had to own everything.
How did you know that's like, how did you apply?
There's a blessing in being underestimated, because what happened is every time I made a deal, they didn't, oh, this just some, these folks in Hollywood, oh, it's just some play or just some black people doing it. They thought Diary of a Mad Black Woman would do $5 million total. It opened at 20. Wow. So when you're underestimated, you can make the best deals, right? So that's why I tell people, don't go in the room giving your resume trying to impress anybody. See what deal you can make. Go under first.
Have you ever felt like the underdog, like early on?
Are you kidding me? Even now, still the underdog.
Really?
Are you kidding me? I am still fighting for budgets.
Never stop.
I am still fighting to get it. Look, my white counterparts in this business.
That don't shock you.
No, of course not. Of course it wouldn't shock him. My white counterparts in this business get all of these. They can get 10 times, 20 times. I have a friend of mine. They don't know we're friends. Gotten $27 million an episode to write television.
What?
I'm barely getting 4.
What?
And they're complaining about giving me 4.
Right.
Yeah. Facts, right? So the way they justify it is simply this. It's like, okay, well, your audience is this and you're only going to reach this, so this is what this is worth to us. And that's been my whole struggle. But I've never been a person that sat around arguing about it, trying to, I went to work, I figured it out.
Right.
I figured it out. I'm like, okay, so how do I get into a position where I'm not only owning, but I can move these needles along? So what I would do is say, okay, fine. You only want to give me this, but I have to hold on to ownership. And I got a lot of flack in the beginning. I want to say shit, but I don't know if I can say shit at Kirk Stadium.
You can say shit.
I got a lot of flack.
It's Kirk Frank, but he'll be
Yeah, Kirk will cuss.
I cursed earlier and I'm like, damn, if I supposed to curse too?
I lost my whole train of thought right there. No.
Tyler, have you heard my mixtape?
No, I had the remix. I got a lot of flack. I was just leaving it flack. Because people were just like, oh, the quality of work. And it's always black folks that make me go, just shut your mouth, because you don't understand what you're saying. The quality of work based on the amount of money I was able to get is phenomenal. But if I could ever get what my counterparts get, I'd show you something.
Hold on. Chef, do you mind if I get some sea bass and the whole situation?
Now you told us we were supposed to get our food and
but I don't want to move because I'm getting schooled. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
Go get your food.
You're right.
We're still rolling. Go get your food.
Hold on.
That actually made me feel better though, that knowing that you still have your challenges at the height you are in your career.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
That just literally motivated me to another power.
Never.
Yeah.
Because somebody at your statue still fighting for budgets. If we was in a room and we were just sitting there talking, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah,
but probably even more though, because if you think about it, if you wouldn't have went about it that route, you couldn't have changed culture.
Yeah.
Even what you put in your studio here, you see they follow a suit.
Yeah.
Because you did that out of knowing that this is what you had to do to survive and to make strides when it was blocking you out.
Right.
Same thing with like, a lot of people, look at me as an artist, but, music has always been my talent, but business has always been my passion. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a CEO. I wanted to be...
See, that's that twin brain.
Right.
And a lot of people don't have that. That twin brain that can be an artist, but also be a businessman.
Break that down.
That twin brain, you get both sides of your brain working.
Right.
That's where a lot of artists get in trouble. They only want to be artists. Y'all handle this, y'all handle that.
Right.
You got to have that twin brain. And listen, I get it. A lot of people don't.
Twin
but he
brain
clearly
is
has it. He clearly has it. Yeah.
Twin brain is a bomb.
For me, it's like, You know, also too, I try not to get caught up in like the artistry of it because people see you as an artist, and when you say the word boss, I look at it twofold. I'm like, I never wanted to be a boss because a boss just tells people what to do. But a leader shows people what to do. And then your vision and their vision,
I love it.
It works together because you're helping them achieve their goal. All these actors that he's given a platform to,
Yes.
wouldn't normally have that platform.
Yes.
They're going through, they're living through his pain.
Yes.
Because
That's
if
good.
you're not, if you don't experience pain, you're not a leader. You know what I'm saying? So when you get your setbacks or your disappointments or something doesn't go through or you fail miserably in public, you have to walk around with it. That's pain.
Let me tell you what I love about the table, though. What I love about the table is that you have this person building their legacy, a person that has built their legacy, and a person that has superseded
That part.
what we understand as legacy. And I think that there's so many levels and layers to the conversation. And, you know, for you to be at the stage that you are and get a chance to sit across from this and to be able to glean those nuggets, or the fact that you have been able to sustain in a career where we know that the shelf life is not long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
2 years, 3 years.
My question is that how do you deal also with this issue of bossology and family?
Didn't I just
It's because I think that the struggle that I've always trying to say is that how do you keep at bay everyone that was there from the beginning that watched you struggle and suffer, but then there's this automatic tension of what do I owe? How much do I owe back? Who do I have to bring along? How do I have to let some go? It's like bossology and family. How do y'all struggle with that tension?
I fired my aunt.
Right. I feel it.
I fired my aunt. She said she wanted a job. She would always call asking for money. I'm like, okay, I was sending the money. I was like, listen, I want to help you. I don't want to help you build this thing, not be welfare to you. So let me give you a job. And she wasn't coming in, calling in all the time. I was like, okay, well, you got to go. Because you want me to hand you the money, but you don't want to work for it. See, that doesn't work for me. And it's the same way with my son. Like, he's 10 years old. Like, there's certain things that he wants. He has to do chores and work for it.
That's right.
I don't believe in giving us things that are just going to handicap us. That is the worst thing you can do. And I've had family members that I've done that to because my mother has asked me to. And when she passed away in 2009, I sent all of them letters saying, listen, you got 60 days to become gainfully employed because I'm not going to keep supporting you like this.
Are you serious?
100%. They all got jobs. Yep. And it wasn't even jobs where they're making a lot of money, but it was a job. It was something else for them to do to feel some pride in. Right. That's the same thing I would want somebody to do for me.
But do you still get like the backsplash from that? You know how you said they wasn't making a lot of money, then they can look at you and say, well, why I can't have more? Why am I working next to somebody to make more than me?
I have a family member that got mad at me because I wouldn't give them $1 million.
Wow.
You know, and I asked Jay this question because I'm actually going through that right now.
Wow.
You know, when you start getting success, people start pulling on you. I just turned 38 today. Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, okay, happy birthday.
And I'm gonna be able to talk about this for the rest of my days.
For the rest of your life.
I'm sitting here with legends on my birthday.
But here's the focus, though. What are you trying to do? Like, what if you're trying to build a business to carry everybody in your family through? That's one thing.
Right.
And if you're trying to do that, then build a business.
Yeah.
What that means is you got to watch the family members that come putting holes in the boat when you're trying to get across the sea.
Right.
So sometimes you build a boat by yourself. Y'all all wait over here on the shore. Stay here. I'm building this boat. I'm going to go over here and build this, and then I'm going to come back and see who's worthy to come.
Right.
Because anybody who's going to drag you down or put holes in the boat or try to destroy you, man, why bring them over?
I had to get rid of my whole corporate. So I was in a situation 2 years ago where it's like make it or break it, right? So I was raising money. I never raised the money. Like at my statue right now, I never did a Series A raise. So to people in the culture, they like, how did you build this massive now franchising all over the country and you ain't take capital?
Share with Tyler exactly what you have been able to build. Share with the fellas.
So
I want him to know who's sitting at the table.
I've been able to take a cheesesteak brand, right? And I brung it to Atlanta out of West Philly. And I started in the Shell gas station. Broken down Shell gas station, one fryer, one grill. And I just had this big vision of franchising.
How old were you then?
I was 26.
26, okay.
But I learned that I had to learn the business, what you just was talking about, because I was already on the grill, they was loving the food. But now when I'm sitting at the table with people like you and you and you, now they know business and I can't talk it. It's ignorance, because you can't have a business and not actually know how to run the machine. I had to learn profit and loss, EBITDA, cogs, everything. And right now, I can sit at the table with anybody and talk about the level of business because I'm putting the time in when nobody watching. I'm on my phone, tutorials, I'm teaching myself. And right now, I just got voted to be on the top 100 fast casual list in the country. No black man my age ever touched the list.
Salute.
May 18th, I'm going to go select, get my award. And for me, I'm doing it for everybody. It's just not for me. This reward I'm going to go get is going to open the door for a lot of kids in the ghettos and lower income communities that think that they got to do certain things to make it out. I really thought I was going to be a basketball player.
I love it.
For me that way.
I love it.
Here's the power, a lot of power in what you're saying. But for me, hearing you, I started 26 and you're 38, people think then this Instagram life is, I'm supposed to have it tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm supposed to have it tomorrow. They want to put the time in. That's been 12 years of grinding.
Yes.
And it's been all of those years of learning and educating yourself. See, a lot of us as black men, I couldn't call my father or my uncle and go, hey, I just made $1 million, what do I do? Nobody talked to us about taxes. We didn't have the knowledge. Right. So now, looking at a 38-year-old black man who is getting the knowledge to be able to pass on to his kids.
Yes.
To be able to, and I see you even lecturing to people as you travel, telling them like, this is how you do it. When this deal with Ryan Coogler, everybody's talking about the Sinners deal, oh my God, he got this amazing deal. Listen, I called that brother up, as I did a lot of them. I called him up after Black Panther and I said, listen, here is how you do it. The deal that he has, my first movie, it'll be 20 years this year from Guy Ritchie.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I called him up and said, here is how you do that deal. Wow. And to see that they were able to pull it off, I applaud him, man. I'm excited for him.
That's right.
Because that's what it's about, holding on to the ownership. That's what changes it.
Yeah, but I got to say something about that real quick, though. Hold on. And I need you to jump into this too, Jay. See, that's the stuff, and I know you are a different machine, but that's the stuff I wish more people knew about him.
What?
Well, he calls Ryan Coogler at that level, and he calls him without the press, anybody knowing, and says, let me hip you the game when it comes to ownership. And so this thing about black men, that when we get knowledge and opportunities to pass on the nuggets, we don't, because we're afraid of somebody else taking that spot.
But your light is not gonna make me shine less. But what he's expressing and what I hear, I hear that, and what you're saying is I hear that that's a character flaw.
So how do we deal with that though, James? Because that is something deep in our community.
Can I object to that?
Hold on, I'm gonna say that's a character flaw, meaning that if you're scared to help someone else because you feel like it's gonna take more from you, that's personal. But the reason why black people are walking with Tyler and supporting what he's doing, because he's shown over time that he has character.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You're building character, because character is trust. I don't want to work with or for anyone that I don't trust. It could be a gazillion dollars.
But Jay, how do we deal with that issue that is still very prevalent?
Oh, no. What you deal with is you deal with people who have character. Because I don't want to be beside you or be signing your label or be a part of your business if you don't want me to win too. And that's what I said in the beginning about your visions aligning. How can I add value? That's my conversation. How can I add value? Like, what can I do for you?
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we talk all the time.
Share with him what you even do when you work with brands.
Okay, so let me, no, not it's like brands. Let's talk about my brother.
Okay.
He's a little bit younger than me, because I'm still young. But if he calls me, what do I say? Let's go have dinner, let's talk about it.
Yeah, he give me a bunch of good advice though.
Whatever it is, let's just have the conversation.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is, what I think it is, y'all know how like a kid get that toy on Christmas on the block? They got the best toy, and your neighbor might can't afford it. And he's looking like, Mom, he got that skateboard. They hold that mentality all the way up with the success. Because when you get it, it's like, I don't want to share it because I don't want to lose it.
Well, that's operating from a place of scarcity.
Yeah.
I'm talking about abundance.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
But even when I didn't have it, it was the same thing, man. If I had the information, I just go back to Maya Angelou said, when you learn, teach.
Right.
And that has been what has been passed down through us for generations. They didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to write. They just wanted us to be ignorant and out in the cold. And there's a book called A Spook by the Door, where this black man sat by the door as a slave and learned all of what the master was talking about, and then passed it on. So that's exactly what I feel like when we learn, teach. So Ryan's not the only one I called. I called many of them.
I know.
A lot of them were, but a lot of them were like, what do you want? You trying to get us to do Medea? Like, no, I'm trying to give you the information. So we're not in a room talking about Oscar so white. It won't matter because you're in power.
So
people get insecure about when you reach out to them sometimes. And some people have, because and this is what I was gonna say when I go back to character flaw. It's you can have $1 trillion. If you ain't healthy mentally, you ain't healthy spiritually, it don't matter. You're gonna operate as we see that with what's going on in the world with the president. Like he can have the biggest idea ever. It's his character that we all looking at, going like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about who he is, what he do, is his character. So my point in case,
about who he is and what he
well, that point, clearly. So I'm saying character.
Okay.
I try to keep clean.
Well, since you've gone there, hold on. Since you've gone there and kind of made that connection, let's talk a little bit about mental health then with it too.
Okay.
Is because I also know that there's this anxiety that can also come, that when there's more in abundance and when you're blessed with more, or the more influence, or just the more money and opportunities, how do you also deal with the anxieties? It's because I know for me, one of the biggest fears, for example, I didn't get health insurance or life insurance, and I was married. I probably didn't get it until 7-8 years after being married, which was stupid, which was dumb.
But if it's what you know, it's not stupid or dumb. It's
Did you know it? Did you know it?
You gotta give yourself
what you
grace.
know. It's what you know. If nobody taught you, Kirk, you got to give yourself some grace and be gentle with yourself in the situation. That's what I tell anybody who is like, well, I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd done it. You know, when I first started making money, man, I bought every V12 engine, like Jay said, right? I bought it all.
Lorenzo's on it.
I went to Greenbrier, bought every suit I could find, right? Steve already have nothing on but I didn't know any better. But when I started to learn and realize, and I was great, one of the greatest gifts God gave me was to be able to be friends with Oprah and Cicely Tyson and Sidney Poitier, who taught me about grace and class and standing upright and what you need to make people feel when you walk into a room. When that man walked into a room,
very kind of you.
He saw us. And that's what I try to do. I try to see us, you know?
And I want you to know that we are grateful because we feel like you do see us at this table. But mental health,
I want to add on to that, and thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
Also, too, like you said, anxiety. I think mental health is a real thing because when you're spiritually aligned, you're mentally aligned, you make great decisions for everyone else. And I think the anxiety part, what I've learned about my mental health journey, because I've been on one for 10 years, and it's serious.
Really? Now, how did that start for you?
I was hit rock bottom, and we can talk about that later, but I hit rock bottom, I had to figure it out, right? And what I learned along the way, and we talked about this even with people asking for stuff and all that, you just have to be in a place where you understand who you are, and then what your responsibilities are and what they're not. Now, the anxiety you're talking about is real, but what I learned is you have to pour into yourself and do the things that bring you joy. You know what I'm saying? To just fulfill you, because you can't help anybody if you're empty. And it might be, it might be, to somebody else, it might be corny. I've took solo trips to Italy.
That's good, Ken.
By myself, with no itinerary. Hiked, walked, journaled.
How do you do it from a standpoint of when you're not financially stable?
Well, that could be walking around the park right here. You know what I'm saying? But that's even walking around the park. That's sitting with friends. That's going to sit with family that recharges you and don't ask you for something. That's sitting down with your grandma that you love. That's sitting down with your, somebody that you consider a mentor. That's finding mentors. That's finding people that recharge you instead of, taking away. Because that's where the anxiety comes from, the uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to figure things out, but you're stressful. If you're stressed out, you're making decisions, 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna be what you needed to be at the end, because you're not thinking long game. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you feel guilty ever wanting to play as hard as you work?
No.
No.
I want to play harder.
I play really hard. I could never play as hard as I work.
I'm too hard on myself.
Ain't no match.
Like I can literally have my everything. Like I just did 2 franchises in Orlando.
Right.
I came home.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I came home. I was home for maybe 5 or 6 hours, and I'm calling my team every 5 minutes.
Right.
And they like, bro, we got this. Not that I don't think they got it, but I know how important it is for these first boxes to work.
Right.
Because in the corporate structure where I'm at in Atlanta, I've mastered that. When I went to South Carolina, I've now mastered that. When I went to North Carolina, I mastered that. Now I'm in Orlando, and I'm like, listen, this is a whole different market, right? And if we land this right, we keep it moving. But the thing is, I can never get comfortable because I know the moment I take my hands off the wheel, somebody else driving the car.
So let me match this though. Let me match this.
I want to talk about the mental health too.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that.
Just another part of it too is I don't think that we completely understand what is happening to us with social media. I don't think we understand.
Say that louder.
What is we are being torn apart mentally, dogged out, especially the nigga net. The nigga net is the worst thing I've ever
nigga net.
The nigga net. I'm talking about the internet. I'm talking about the nigga net. The nigga net is
punchlines.
What we attack each other, we go after each other, we're constantly, and I don't know, I haven't seen another race do it as awful as we do to each other.
True.
So if you let all of that stuff in and never turn it off, and never turn off the news, never step back, never, like you say, go away, walk away from all of this stuff and the noise, like literally turn it off. I promise you, if people would just turn it off for a while, you'll see your whole mentality changes.
Do you ever put your phone down?
I applaud you for even being that tuned in.
Yes.
To
The nigga
what's
net.
going.
Yeah.
That part too.
Yeah.
I try myself to like let my team run that and stay as far away from it as possible, because clarity to me is the best thing, and the more I'm at peace, the better decisions I make and the broader my vision is. The more I'm able to educate myself, learn what others, pour into others, you know, be a fixture in my community and do all these things, because, you know, I wrote New York Times bestsellers and
Congrats on that.
appreciate that, and you know, 50 million records and all this stuff, but nothing means more to me than being a vessel to actually take the time. I learned that I was a life path 7, and for me that means that I like to learn, find out the answers, get wisdom, and then share it with people, which is why I was able to do that in music and in books. So this next 10 years of my life is more so about how much can I learn, how can I sit at tables like this and take this back. So if I'm sitting somewhere tonight with one of my friends and they ask me a question, or one of my colleagues, I can tell them what I learned at this table today. They wasn't privy to be here, but that's my passion, that's who I am as a vessel, right? But that brings me, to answer your question, that brings me peace, joy. I go sit in nature by myself. People don't know that. You know, I just go sit, you know, and be still.
I challenge everybody to fish, though.
Oh yeah, like, we ain't catching that, right?
I ain't fishing.
But I'm gonna tell you, listen,
Hold on.
y'all gotta fish.
No, I'm fishing.
You gotta fish. I'm gonna eat it, yo. Did you catch this?
But it's okay if not catching something, though. That's the point. Like when me and him, we went bass.
But it's more so talking, though.
Look, we on the water and we ain't catching nothing. It's just talking.
We gonna be down on the boat. By the way, we didn't catch nothing.
We didn't catch nothing.
Let me ask this though. Let me ask this. What then can be done just to help somebody watching this whole fear that we know that black men have with mental health, and addressing it or speaking to it? How do we kind of deconstruct all the stigmas?
So right now, I have what I call is a guys summit. I have over 40 of my closest people, like work people, business people, whatever, and we on this group text, and we all support each other. And we all get together, we take trips, golfing trips, whatever. But what I've learned is this is a safe place for me to actually say what I got going on. When I was going through personal situations, a lot of these guys leaned in. It was really there. They really told me their experiences that let me know that I wasn't alone. Even with business stuff, it's like, but I think having a safe space, because women have it. They got their girlfriends, they can go talk, but having a safe space where you can talk to somebody that you can trust, and you know they're not gonna go back and say something to somebody else, but then for them to actually give you some type of intel or some type of data, because it's all data. I don't care what you're going through, it's all data. It's somebody that's been through it, they know how to get through it, but you gotta be able to say it wholeheartedly and transparently. Like, that's the safe space. Because once it comes off and it comes out, it's less stressful.
But my ego gotta let me receive it, though.
But see, listen, hold on, wait, let me stop right there, bro. A bad day for the ego is a great day for the soul, my brother. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem, what he's saying. It's the ego.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I have none.
Yeah, no, but think about it though, right? So somebody at your mental that been through all the things that you've been through, right? You take a brother right now off the street, right?
For sure.
And he sit and listen to this table that we're talking about.
Right.
He might can't gravitate to what we're talking about because he don't understand that part of it because he ain't living it. So like you take for example, right? You got a guy, his main focus right now is gonna go to work, punch his clock, come home, take care of his family, right? And his kids. his friends, he might got a friend that he grew up with and a friend that he worked with.
Right.
The friend that he grew up with is entitled to him differently than the friend that he worked with, because the friend that he grew up with may know him personally to know his flaws. See, I feel like when it comes to men, like right now, you could know something personal about me, and you could use your words on my flaw, and I'd be scared to talk to you at that point. You get what I'm saying? If I'm not weak-minded, if I'm not strong-minded, I'm gonna come back at you.
No, what I'm saying,
you get what I'm saying?
That this whole thing about trust. So see, you've been blessed with a village of brothers. A lot of men are not blessed with a village.
But let me push back on you too.
Okay.
I had to learn to trust myself first, and it ain't got nothing to do with them. I trusted myself enough to be vulnerable and have these conversations. It has nothing to do with them.
But you didn't find your village though, right?
No, I found my village when I learned how to trust myself. Nobody's gonna deal with you if they can't trust. If you can't trust you.
So you're saying that once you dealt with
I dealt with
they just started becoming
people. Like, let me tell you something about God. And you know. My bad.
Tell me something about God. Hold on. Wait. Tell me something about God. Talk to me. Okay.
Let me tell you something about God.
Talk to me about God. Come on.
When you
Sit down, Kirk.
when you open
I listen to him.
And I tell my prayer is, God, let everything that comes from me, you be first, and allow me to be me. Right? Because I trust myself. I trust myself with it all. You know what I'm saying? I trust myself. And I'm not, in no position where I can take care of the world, but I trust myself enough to do what I'm supposed to do for the people that believe in me. Right? And I trust myself enough to know that every decision I make that is going to involve us, I'm going to make the best decision. So if I need to go outside of the box and have a conversation with my brother because I'm having some mental setbacks and strain, I'm making decisions for people in their future, their kids, their livelihood. So I can't be selfish enough to say that my ego is so big I can't go talk to somebody for some help. And I've been privy enough to, and I told one of my guys just the other day, I said, yo man, DM such and such and just tell him you want to sit down with him and have seven questions, you want to take him out to lunch. I did that for John Maxwell. That man came to my house. I did that for Tony Robbins. That man called me. We had a conversation. Not to say that everybody, I'm saying I was willing to risk going out there to do that. And I did that with my brothers, but I had to trust myself first. Because if I went to them and told them half of how I feel, people say, you good? Yeah, I'm straight. But you're not. You're dying inside.
But that's the part that I was talking about.
Right, but what I'm saying is the minute I started being like, man, hey, actually, bro, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get your feel on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw this out there, and I want you to tell me.
So let me tell you about God. But God, what table I was at?
This starts shaking.
Oh,
God. King, come on. You his son?
We gotta understand that our sins and our imperfections are to the universe to help people too.
For sure.
So it ain't always our wins and all these things. Sometimes it's all about how bad did you lose so somebody can understand how it works.
But not even that. It's the losses.
Yeah, the losses.
It's the losses that get you the data though.
Yeah.
I never learned.
No.
So let me ask you this, okay? So let me throw this out here, and then y'all tell me, y'all just kind of deconstruct this and just give it back to me. I can impress you with my success, but I can impact you with my failures.
There you go. Share
with me some of those failures that you had that have been the most impactful in your life.
I say this all the time. I haven't had any failures.
Because everything was a game.
Lessons.
Not one, because everything that I thought was a failure, everything that I thought was there to destroy me, was a wall in a maze that made me go another way.
Pivot.
So I hit a wall, I was like, oh, okay. And now I look back on all of those moments and I go, man, nobody showed up, the show didn't happen, I was so depressed, but I thank God because it taught me, number one, that my entire journey is about leaning on him. And God will remove every human being out of the way that you thought would help you so that you will look to him and know this was nothing but you. And my whole life, my whole trajectory, my whole career, I can say that there's not one man. There's been great people who've been there with me and helped me here, helped me there, we built it together, but not one man was able to make everything come together. That's right. That's God.
Wow.
That's God. So I know people look at failures differently, but you got to change the prism on how you let it in.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that didn't work out? Okay, let's move.
That's what you see, because I'm just to talk, piggyback what you were saying. As a kid growing up, I'm hearing about tired of sleeping in cars.
Right.
These different things.
In the Geo Metro at 6'6".
That's a small one.
That's a tiny one, man. Y'all you're too young to know what that is.
No, my mom had
It's
one.
half the size of this table.
Yeah, because I was sleeping in my Chevy Chevette.
Okay, so it's about the same size. But you had a back seat.
When I seen
I was
it,
up in the Chevy Seville too. What you had, a two-door?
I had the photo.
Yeah, I did
With
too.
the
I just lived in a lot of cars. I lived in a lot of houses. I went house to house. But when I was looking at your story, right, and when you finally got your big break with the Medeas and all that, you doing the shows, I'm inspired by struggle. That's what I care about.
1000%.
It's easy for somebody to take a bunch of money and say win.
Right.
But when you can turn that win into something that ain't have no gas in the tank,
That's good, youngin.
Or a tank.
Yeah, and
or a tank.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what I told an individual here, billionaire. I told him, I said, listen, it was much easier for you to build your engine. No, I said it's much easier for you to build your engine, me put gas in the tank. You know what he said? I put 93 in mine. And I had to think about it. It went over my head, right? And I got home. Carrying generational wealth with wealth is pressure just
I
not
don't
having.
get the 93. What's that mean?
So gas, he's saying like he used the 90,
High octane.
the high octane, right? But so
I've been at a gas station 27 years.
see, that's a level of boss. That's boss.
Hey, look.
And listen, I'm trying to get
Hold on,
to
wait a minute. Jay, wait a minute.
Hey, listen.
Wait a minute.
Hey, you been in Jersey? Hey,
Wait a minute. You have hold on, let's get that one more time.
No, actually, I went to a quick trip during the pandemic.
Oh, my God.
It was a quick trip during the pandemic.
Hey, I go there all
Hey,
the time.
And didn't know how to open it. Didn't know how to open the tank.
So, let's answer this
Didn't know how
then.
to open it.
So then let's also debunk something else. Please help debunk the historical stigma that money fixes everything.
Nothing. Money fixes nothing.
It
I'm gonna tell you something. My uncle used to tell me back in the day, like if you, it's like being in a Rolls Royce. If you broke it, you just a broken guy driving a Rolls Royce. And one thing I learned about this, Kirk, is it's still about character. You can have $1 zillion if your character is flawed. It don't matter. I ain't got no respect
talk
for you.
like that, bro.
And also, if you want to see who a man is, give him either one of the two or both. And I've seen money tear people apart. Money makes you sloppy.
Yep. Hey, can I say
Success
one thing?
makes you sloppy.
And I was
if you got character flaws.
No, to that point, money makes you more of who you are.
Right.
It's like being drunk.
It exposes every inch of who
It's
you
like
really
it's
are.
like being drunk. It's like when somebody say the truth come out when you're mad and you're drunk.
Yep.
When you got money, your aura and everything changes. The humility in you got to stay the same so that you don't lose it. So like when I was 22 years old, I had 5 back operations. I won a bunch of money in a lawsuit, right? And when I came here, I knew if I stayed in Philly, I was gonna be in jail or I was gonna be dead with the money that I had. But when I came here with a mission, I was failing my mission because I got told in everybody was driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all that. And I'm like, you can't do that in Philly. I got down to my last $200,000 and I remember my broker calling me, he said, you broke. I took that money and I dumped it into this Shell gas station and I had $2,500 to my name after the build out. So my ego of everybody knowing I was ashamed to let people know I didn't have anymore. So you carrying, like when you talking about earlier, you carrying this persona like you still got it.
Yeah.
But this is the rule to the thumb. A broke person can't play rich for so long, but a rich person can play broke every day of the week. Because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, but when you actually have it, you don't have to.
And I've been there.
But you're telling yourself, but okay, so you can have all the accolades and all that, but if you still got a broke mentality, you still broke.
You still broke.
That's what I'm saying. So, but it all starts when you believe what you believe about you. I always believe.
I'm so impressed with that, bro.
Yeah, because
no, I'm talking about you.
Oh, okay, thank you, brother. Well, I received that.
Well, just because I mean, when I'm buying your first album,
Right.
It's obvious that you're from the block, you're from the mud, and you talk about the hustle, you talk about the game, but to hear you articulate on a level where there is an intentionality about just morals and ethics and character.
Integrity.
It blew my mind, to be honest. When I got around him, that's
beautiful.
helped me out a lot.
That's your modus operandi.
I would say that's my mental navigation. It's always got to come back to integrity and always come back to adding value and also evolution. Like right now, this is 20 years of the first album you talked about, Thug Motivation 101.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually about to go on a tour where I'm taking a completely black symphony around the world to do a symphony tour for my first album.
I love it.
Not just for the music, but to connect art and culture, but to also show these kids that you can evolve in this. Because the problem is they don't see that it can evolve.
And you have definitely evolved.
And I received that, brother. Like, 'cause to me, nothing means more than that, because I had the bad rap, the bad stigma and all that. And I had to go do a lot of work on myself because I had character flaws. You see what I'm saying? Like, I had things about me that just wasn't right. And when I started to understand what that was and where it came from, and I was having to go through that dark place where, you know, most men don't want to go because it's scary. And again, it's pain. And I say it again, you're not a leader if you're not in pain. You saying you had to fire your auntie, that's still pain. He can sit up here and say it wholeheartedly, but it hurt him to some extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
If you say, Tyler, you cold, man. Tyler, you cold. Tyler, you cold, man.
What hurt me is that you would try to take advantage of me.
That's what I'm saying.
And take my money and not even want to show up and do the right thing for it.
But what I'm saying is, at some point of it, it hurt.
Yeah.
But
I believe we are vessels, though. All of us are vessels, right? So, like, I feel like, you know how, like, you be like, oh, man, I got a big blessing. That blessing wasn't for you. That blessing was for the people to see. Like you just said, you just 20 years, you changed your whole persona, right? But they needed to see you go through that. Because the same, like, right now, whatever age group that watch you all the way up to right now, you got a different part of who Jeezy is. Like, who is this guy?
But see, the thing about it is I never ever really let anyone box me in because I knew who I was beforehand. I came from, like I said, I lived abroad. You know, my sushi game was crazy when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? My chopstick game is insane, my guy. And I saw beaches, I saw different cultures, I saw people. My parents got divorced and I got put right back in Georgia. And I'm like, what in the hell? And I had to figure out how to get me, my mom, and my sister out of that, right? And I went through a lot of things. I lost a lot of people. If we ever sat down one day, I'll tell you some things that'll make a grown man cry.
Yeah.
But the thing that kept me aligned and going where I was going, and still to this day, which is why I understand you still go through it, because I do, is that this is my purpose. This is who I am. I always consider myself a leader, and I know that there's gonna be pain. And the person who endures real pain is able to lead far.
Yeah. Let me close this out, fellas. Is that this idea that I know that a lot of men, especially a lot of black men, they feel that if I can just obtain a certain amount of wealth, have a certain amount of things, I will finally be complete. I will be happy because of what my man said about nigga media and nigga net.
I gotta Google that one.
Yeah. Or whatever you want to call it, and how we are living up to these images that have been, you know, they are not real images.
Where's the camera at? That's the right there?
I think yours might be over.
Okay, right. You are enough right now. No money, no nothing. You enough. It ain't, money doesn't change nothing. I'm telling you, I'm getting wrong. It's good to have.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because it's a tool and you're able to help your people, your culture, the people that believe in you. But it's not gonna change who you are spiritually, bro. It's not gonna change your mindset. It's not gonna change how you view yourself, none of that. It's almost like, you ever seen a person that goes in and gets these surgeries where they lose all this weight? In the back of their mind, they still think they're heavy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it takes work to get there. It's just like, even if you got the money, from what I understand, if you're not working on your character and your soul and your spirit, you're going to go, you're going to self-destruct.
That's good, man.
You're going to implode, and everybody around you and it's great that you have the discernment to know who's really using you. Most people get to the end of their ropes and they dead ass broke, and then be like, oh, and you by yourself. And that's why people, they lose it, or they, get on drugs, alcohol, whatever, because they're trying to self-soothe, because it's a reality check. They was only with you because you was able to provide something they didn't have.
I think that it never changes, because when you finally think you're there, you still want more. So like right now, I'm sitting at the table with 3 goats. And I can promise you, in y'all career right now, like, you still want to break more barriers. It's not about the money no more. It's the history, it's the influence. So when you get
the legacy.
Yeah, but when you get to a level of money, right? Now, my dream is to have $1 billion company, right? But I don't want to have $1 billion company for the money. I know when I'm dead and gone, they're gonna talk about it in history books, and millions and millions of kids are gonna get motivated by the story of a kid that only got a high school diploma and an honorary doctorate. I did get an honorary doctorate. An honorary doctorate.
That part.
That been arrested, that been kicked, and everything, and said that you ain't gonna do this. And I'm out here motivating kids all around the world. I care about influence over the dollar, because as long as you got the influence, the money gonna come to you. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at what I don't have, I look at what I'm gonna get. And then when you get to that level, what you're trying to get, you're looking at how many people you motivated doing it. And that's how I look at it, because if I just look at bank accounts every day, bank accounts, it's gonna drive you crazy, because for me right now, I got 400 employees. I got a lot of bills. Probably ain't got y'all type of bills, but I got bills. But,
all relative, bro.
But the thing is that every time I go look at payroll, I thank God that I can pay this payroll.
That's right.
Every time I go to my rents, I thank God I can pay these rents.
Right.
Because it's not about me. I watch people that was homeless, didn't have cars, wasn't married, buy houses, all through the dream that I cared about. So that put a different level of expectation on success for me.
Right.
You know, and that's what I care about. So that's what I would say to that.
What's up?
I just want to say to both of you, and thanks for having me here, Kirk, just the perspective of understanding what you carry and how many people you carry is really, really important. But at the same time, allowing yourself to be gentle with yourself and saying, okay, this is too much, you've got to get off, this is enough. See, I'm 55, so I'm at a different place in my life. Like I'm at a place where I built it. You said, oh, you always, what's next, what's next? No, I'm good, I'm good. If I died tomorrow, I have done everything on this planet I wanted to, except see my son have kids and become a grandpa and all the other things. But as far as business goes, I'm pretty good. And it's really easy to say, for somebody to sit here who has means and go, like we all do, and go, well, money, it's because the person out there watching is going, well, you know, they say money don't make happiness, but I sure in hell would like to find out.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is this, what I found about, as you said, perfect word, money's a tool so that you can get the things that you need and all the other stuff. But who you are, you're only going to become more of that with money. So if you're a good person and you're setting a good standard with nothing, you can hold that all the way through having it all. Because that is what God is looking at. Where is your heart right now?
Yeah,
Where's
man.
your heart with nothing?
Man.
You know, when I had $2 and I would give one to the church, that was my heart saying,
Yeah.
and if you want it all, God, I'll give it all to you. So that's where my heart is. So God is looking at your heart. What is your heart saying? I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you have $1 billion or $10 billion. What is your heart? And according to the word of God, what is in a man's heart, so shall he be. Right?
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah. So my hope for everybody who is trying and struggling, and this whole mental health thing is a real thing. I checked into a place in Arizona. I was supposed to be there a week, ended up there 3 weeks, because I had gotten to a place at 54 that I was just like, I can't take this anymore. I can't.
How brave of you to share that with us, though.
No, I've been telling everybody, man, I can't hold the weight of this anymore. And I didn't even know how bad it was until I was sitting there in the therapy session and I was describing to her what most men go through. It's like, I just feel like I'm holding everything and it's just too much and it's breaking and I've got all these people dependent on me and I can't handle it right now. I can't handle it. The things I used to do, all the tools that worked before, me praying, me going to church, me going to nature, me getting away, me walking with my son, me going to the beach, going to the island, doing all this stuff, none of that was working. So what she explained to me in my first therapy session in my entire life, what she said to me was, look behind you, there was a picture on the wall. There's a man in a business suit with an umbrella holding up the rain, and then there's a kid holding it out in the rain, and then there's another kid with a balloon. And she was explaining to me, here is what has happened. This is everything you've just described. You're born in this world in purity, beauty, wonderful kid. Then life happens and you're out in the rain. And then you become a man and you're holding it all together. And what happens is that man starts to break. He can't handle it anymore. And you're young, my friend. Just hold on. Just hold on. It'll show up. And when it does, what she's saying, what you have to do is go back and get that child that's out in the rain. And go back and remember the child that you were born with and realize that you're all one.
I just had that said to me.
Hold.
And once I got that entire fusion together of picking up the child that was up and letting myself know that I couldn't handle it all and not trying to control everything, my whole life got better. I started not giving any
You can say it.
stuff about
That's so real,
that kind of
though.
stuff. It'll help you.
That was my.
It'll help you.
That was my.
Finding that
journey
little
into
boy
that.
in yourself.
Yeah, because I had been through so much stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
And as I got older, and that's why I'm saying that wholeheartedly. I know money doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Because that was my motivation.
Yeah.
As long as I got it, I can get it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be good. And when I got it, it was like pouring gasoline on a fire. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't right. And I had to go back and get that little Jay and let him know he was okay and parent him and start that journey. And I can tell you right now, I know I'm not the richest man at the table, but I'm the richest man at the table.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's how I really feel. That's love.
Lars,
You know what I'm
Lars.
saying?
For sure.
Last question. Jay, what's your legacy?
My legacy is my impact and using my life, my experiences, and my knowledge of what I know to help my culture, but more so to help black men. Because what I see, like, let's take the rap and everything out, and music and all that, is I see a culture of men who don't have the data that I'm privy to. They don't have the relationships that I can have. Like, not too many people know Jay-Z and Tyler. You know what I'm saying? or you know what I'm saying? Like they can't get Robin Sherman on the phone. You know what I'm saying? They can't talk to John Maxwell just on a humbug. And TD Jakes and Black Man and you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They can't talk to young brothers like Derek. And I take all that information, and not only do I give it to my inner circle and my friends, this is to anyone. Like, they'll tell you, my team will tell you, I probably send out about 30 books a month to just different people, not my books. Books that I've read, that have changed my life, or books that somebody suggested to me. And I'm like, yo, bro, what you gotta read this. Tell me what you think. And to me, that's more fulfilling than selling a record. You know what I'm saying? That's more fulfilling than being on the stage, because I've probably got 3 or 4 texts since I've been here with people saying, man, I just appreciate you taking the time to hear me out and to, you know, to suggest things. And sometimes it's just a ear. So if you ask me what's my legacy, it's how much impact can I have in this time while I'm on this earth, and how much impact can I have when I'm gone, because I've lived full and I've died empty. You know what I'm saying?
D, what's your legacy?
I think my legacy is my purpose. I gotta be purpose first, because I feel like if I'm chasing something just so everybody can clap and feel good about it, I'm not doing it for myself purpose. So for me, my kids, my son, he was born on the same day my father passed away. I used to spend July 6th every single year, tears, I would get in a deep depression and everything. And then 2021, my son came on the day my dad died. So I was able to redirect what my legacy really is. My legacy is for my kids and for the people that's watching me build, but I also want people around me to be bosses. So like, I got 3 people that I gave equity to in my company that started with me in the early days, right? These was 2 of them was 2 big guys, John and Luke. I never seen myself hanging around guys like this in my life, but they became family. So when I look at purpose and I look at legacy, I'm looking at what they can be too for their families, because that's how I create my legacy.
I love it.
So that's what I really care about the most. I care about my soldiers actually being able to provide for their soldiers so that they can provide more family, more wealth, more happiness. Because at the end of the day, look, I'm 38 today, but yesterday I had a dinner and I was sitting there looking, and I'm like, am I wrong for this big gap that I have with my family right now? Because the things that I used to do and I used to have fun with ain't the stuff that I do now.
That's okay though.
Yeah, and that's why I asked you that, because I'm like, am I feeling wrong for this?
Give yourself some grace, man.
I don't go to these places, I don't do these things, because
It's okay.
I know right now, people tell me all the time, why you be sitting in your backyard all the time looking at the golf course? I said, because you know why? When a black man go hang outside with nothing to do, ain't nothing but trouble. And if I fell right now, it's millions of kids my age right now and that's watching me right now are not gonna have hope no more. So I'll sit there and be okay with sitting there, because I understand what I'm building. Fun to me may not be fun to you, but what I see is clarity. And I think that's what we gotta look at, the clarity of your purpose and what you wanna do in things. When you're doing stuff foggy, you're just doing it because you want your name in the media. I want purpose. Like, I done been all in the media and all these things, but I said, listen, if I was a 38-year-old white kid, right, with all these things I have going on right now, I would already be globally known, right? And I used to beat myself up. Why am I not working harder? What are they blocking me out? What am I doing wrong? Is it my tattoos? I had dreads. I cut my hair. Is it all these things? And I say, you know what? God saves the best for last. And right now, I'm having a hell of a season right now that I can't even believe I'm having. So purpose first before you chase anything else.
That's that part.
TP, what's your legacy?
For me, it's clear. It's about all of the people that I've touched. When I'm dead and gone, like how many people did I move, that I inspired? For my 50th birthday, I had 50 friends write me letters to tell me how I've touched them or impacted them. And it's in my estate that if I'm not here, when my son turns 50, that is given to him with the question of, are you living up to your father's legacy? So people will forget your name, they'll forget all the things you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So everybody that I come in contact with, be it at the studio, working, I don't care if it's people who think they're doing jobs that doesn't even matter. If I see them and I look at them and I know that they're okay and they know that I see them, they know that I'm fighting for them, then that's my legacy. How did I make the people feel? How did I leave the world?
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I hope that there's some brothers that
What about you, though, son?
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I would love for my legacy to be that I did everything I could to show the culture that God works. You know, Western Christianity has given a relationship with God a lot of challenges. There's so much ugliness connected to the history of Western Christianity, and now the rise of white nationalism and a lot of flaws in evangelical spaces historically in America have not always represented the real heart of God. And so it's been duplicitous, it's been hypocritical.
Well, that's not just black church, that's all church.
All church.
All church has made people challenge their very belief and thought of what God is because of what man is doing, rather than understand that God is so above anything we can think.
And historically, you know what I mean? You know, it's like it seems like it don't stop, you know? And so I want to do my part so that when people think of me, they also think about where they were when they heard a song, where they were when they heard a word that reminded them of, you know, man,
the reason why they sing.
The reason why they sing.
Reminded them of the reason why they sing.
I love it. Let me give God another chance. Let me not be so caught up in religion. Let me try to find it for myself, because he said this in a song. He was honest about a mistake. He did something. I hope my legacy points people back to, man, give God another chance.
That's beautiful, man.
Hey, that's beautiful, brother.
Because I remember the first place I heard Stomp, it was a strip club. I was like, go ahead.
You said Magic City.
I was there last night. That's the place that I said.
Don't edit that out.
But I want to thank all y'all brothers for your time and your energy and just your vulnerability. This has been amazing. But to your point, brother, you know, you are showing us that God is real, because this is like my brother right here. You sit us down with you two legends and really just have a real, respectable, open and honest and fully transparent conversation. That shows me that God works, because the path that we went on and we've been on to get here, we've been through a lot of things, but we would never think that we'd be able to sit down and have a conversation like this with our brothers that's already established and understand what life is. So you guys are opening the gates and the doors for us. And that shows me God is real.
I feel like I've been in therapy today.
Right.
And I'm talking about, I'm gonna tell you why though, because a lot of people might not say this. You know, you can hear a message and they say, don't worry about who it's coming from.
Right.
Sometimes the messenger, who you respect it more. And right now, I'm hearing it from people who I dream to have the level of success of. So I'm not going to take anything that you guys said and say, nah, that ain't the way I'm doing it. No, I can gravitate to it because it hit me in my chest. So when I leave this table, what I was neglecting in my own self, I won't neglect no more, because I heard it out of mouths of kings who've made it. And when I say who've made it, it's not the financial gain. It's the level of access you have with yourself. Because you'll beat yourself up till you dead. You'll be dead inside.
That's good. That's good.
Man, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with us. Man, I hope that one of these kings said something that really impacted you, to allow you to know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be in that process, because fruit out of season will kill you. You got to go through the process. You got to be ready for what God has for you. If not, it can destroy you. You never want that blessing to be a problem. You want it to be a door that's open and never closed. I hope that we said something, man, today that encouraged you, that reminded you that you're not forgotten, and we see exactly where you are. And in the right time and in the right season, it will open. Lift them up, man.
It is, brother.
No alcohol in here. No tequila here. Bring me over here, no alcohol.
Thank you, Kings. Thank you, Kings.
Shout out to Chef, too, man. Shout out to Chef.
Thank you, baby.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.